It was just such a buzz and excitement. It inspired the neighbors. Comcast did a great job.
Welcome to Face Chicago. I'm Debbie Frazier. Every year, tens of thousands of volunteers, most of them employees of Comcast, gather together throughout the Chicagoland area for Comcast Cares Day. It's the largest single-day corporate volunteer event in the country. This year's event was held in the spring, and TLN was there.
Comcast Cares Day nationally, we've got over 100,000 Comcasters, family members, volunteers working on 7,700 projects, both in the United States and abroad. And then locally in Chicago, we've got over 6,400 volunteers working on 77 projects. It's my favorite day of the year. I'm very fortunate. It's a chance for me to get out and, again, see some of our employees, their family members. It's just a special day to give back. And seeing everybody, with a paintbrush, a rake, whatever they're doing, smiling faces, people just giving back, and it's very sincere too. I found that out as well.
Comcast is a company that we think reflects the values of communities. This is where our employees live and work. This is where we as individuals like to put our time because we like to make a difference. So Comcast Cares Day is really the culmination of all these things.
For us, this is work that would take a year to 2 years to do and still have school going on. So to have it happen with build up over 2 weeks and then a one day where all of these people come in and just show really the investment and the commitment to our community and have them be a part of it is, I couldn't even put into words what it means to us.
To me, Comcast Cares Day means giving back.
I love service, and that's my passion. We're a huge corporation, but we have a very family culture, and that means a lot to our employees. It's important that our employees and the people that live in our communities really see the value of the partnership that we bring. It's the educational piece, it's the donations, it's the charity work. It's just a phenomenal partnership.
We love what Comcast is able to do year after year, and we welcome you guys back anytime.
Joe Higgins is the Director of External Affairs and Community Investment for Comcast in the Greater Chicago region. Thanks for being with us today, Joe.
Well, thanks for having me.
That looks like a lot of fun and a lot of work, actually.
It is a lot of work and it is a lot of fun. So we always say it's a lot of work leading up to it. We're almost exhausted by the time the day even gets there. But then after we volunteer and transform some of these places that we're at, it just makes all the difference in the world, and everybody really goes home feeling like they've done something really special that day.
It's your department that actually creates all of these opportunities within the Greater Chicagoland area. So tell me about the work involved
That's right.
in that.
So really my department is kind of, we're like the project manager, if you will. So we've got employees from all over the Chicago region, which includes most of Illinois, Southwest Michigan, Northwest Indiana.
Wow.
But it's really the employees that come to us with project ideas,
Nice.
which is really great. And then we will kind of vet them out, make sure that there's enough work for everyone to get done. And then we kind of help them ordering t-shirts and supplies for the projects, food, you got to keep people fed.
So how many projects this past year in your area alone?
So in the Greater Chicago region, we did 77 projects.
Wow.
And we had about 6,300 volunteers.
Amazing.
Yes.
Okay, so how did Comcast Cares Day get started? Was it like 2001, I think?
Yeah, so in 2001, I think we did, like 6,000 volunteers, maybe 10. But it was a smaller kind of event, and it's really grown. So now,
and that was nationwide?
That was nationwide.
So, and now that was just in your community alone?
Exactly, yeah.
Wow.
That's just in the Chicago region, which is phenomenal, right? And now we've even expanded internationally. So we're in over 22 countries, Puerto Rico, so it's a lot of fun.
Why is this important to Comcast?
Well, I think giving back is in our DNA. Ralph Roberts, our founder, was very interested in giving back to the communities where we did business and where our employees worked. So he started relationships with the United Way and with City Year and things like that early when Comcast first started out. So that kind of culture and that DNA has kind of come through all of these years and just grown over the years to a magnificent kind of community investment strategy that I think our employees are really proud of.
So then you spend time at these locations in advance.
Yes. So we start prepping in January. That's when we start kind of requesting information from employees about where they want to do the projects. And then we work all of that time kind of putting together the project plan.
So Comcast Cares volunteers, if this information is correct, they have contributed nearly 5 million hours in service.
It's amazing. I mean, I think, you know, after the day is over, we kind of go back and then we hear about all the stats, right, from around the country and all the different projects, and it's just amazing the amount of work that gets done. But it's you know, it's our families that are joining us, it's our friends, it's our partners in the community, it's partners like you at TLN that really make it all happen.
And we're really working.
Yes.
You know, you're digging, you're painting, and you're seeing it change. Just as the woman said in the video that we just saw, what would take them 2 years to try to accomplish, Comcast makes that possible basically in one day for them.
In one day.
A few weeks for you, but in one day.
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
It's overwhelming at some point, you know, because you think about all of the different things that people need, and to have a principal of a school, you know, want to have all of this done for her students and for her families that she's serving, and then to get that done in a day versus taking a year and a half to do is it's all worth it.
What's been the most meaningful part for you?
I think if you ever have a chance to do service, so we were at Spencer Tech Academy, so this is just an example. Transformed the school, painted the each floor, did murals, flower boxes, redid the library. Then to come in on Monday morning and watch the kids' faces as they walk in the door to their newly transformed school is an amazing experience. So it's not even really about the service that we're doing that day, it's about the reaction of those kids the following day, that following school day.
Well, we want to thank Comcast, and we want to thank you, Joe, for all that you do to make those dreams and those projects possible.
Well, thank you very much for having us, and thanks for all of your support over all of these years of Comcast Cares Day.
You are more than welcome.
And don't forget, I have to do the plug.
Oh, do.
April 21st, 2018.
21st, April 2018. All
2018,
right, we will be there.
All right, thanks.
One of the organizations helped by Comcast Cares Day this year is Restoration Ministries in Harvey. We'll talk with Ray Banks, the Executive Director, after the break. Last year, in the United States alone, more than 107,000 volunteers contributed 650,000 hours of service during Comcast Cares Day. This spring, the volunteers were working hard again. TLN went to Restoration Ministries, where volunteers were working on a number of different projects, including building a community garden from scratch, distributing food, and working in Restoration Ministries' thrift store.
Today at Restoration Ministry, we're here for Comcast Cares Day.
We have over 100 volunteers from Comcast and from various churches, and people are coming around here and they're going to be helping us. All these people don't realize it, but they are being the hands and feet of Jesus today, and they're going to really help this community thrive.
On any given day, you will see children here playing in the park or playing basketball or interacting, coming here for additional study services. So it's definitely enhanced our community, and I'm grateful to Restoration Ministries.
Today, I'm going to be doing a neighborhood cleanup. My group is outside and picking up some trash and litter and sprucing the community up.
So this is the thrift store project. We're assisting them with sorting the clothes, the donations from people from the community. So they've done things upstairs. They've planted, they've cleaned windows. We've done sorting upstairs, and now they're doing sorting down here to go on the floor.
And we couldn't do it without Comcast and all the volunteers that is here. They're bringing their skill and their expertise here to help us build these gardens. And these gardens are going to serve this community for years. And so we really, really appreciate everybody that's coming out to help us. And we just love the idea that so many people say, hey, you know what? Today I'm going to lay down my life and I'm going to help someone else that's less fortunate.
Oh, I love it. It's wonderful just to be able to meet the people. Also being able to meet other people and from other communities and seeing how everybody just comes together for a common cause.
I love my company because I see so much good, that not only what we do with our customers, but the employee engagement, just the things we do in the community. It's an awesome and wonderful company to work for. I can't see being with any other company.
I mean, grateful, absolutely grateful to Comcast.
Ray Banks is the Executive Director of Restoration Ministries, and we appreciate you being here today. You know firsthand how this ministry helps people, don't you?
Absolutely. I came to Restoration Ministries 27 years ago. I had been addicted to drugs and just kind of caught up in all type of sin and craziness. And Restoration Ministries, they opened the doors for me to come to be a part of what they call the Harvey House School of Ministry, where they take men who come from criminal and drug addicted backgrounds, and they disciple them and then send them back out into the community.
How did you end up at the door of this ministry?
I was in a drug rehabilitation center, state-funded drug rehabilitation center, and this ministry came there to do a Bible study. And my roommate encouraged me to attend the Bible study, and I went to the Bible study, and there I met Barb Sullivan, and later on I met her husband, Dr. Sullivan, who is the CEO of Restoration Ministries.
You mentioned criminal background?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, when you are using drugs or dealing drugs, there's a criminal background. But, you know, that life is, and all this urban ills come along with that, you know. So I got involved in wherever the urban ills of drug addiction, the drug culture was involved in.
So you were hardcore, but Restoration Ministries changed your life.
Yes, they did. They introduced me to the Lord Jesus Christ, and I became a Christian, and I began to buy into discipling men and also being discipled. And so I spent my time there, you know, serving the community and learning and growing. And my intentions was to stay there 1 month.
27 years ago.
27 years ago, I said, I'm going to stay 1 month. And 27 years, I'm still there. So I guess all God needs is 1 month. God said, I'll take your 30 days.
And have you seen a lot of lives change during that time?
Tons of lives change. Several men and women have come through our programs. Lives have been totally changed. And not only was my life changed, but my children's lives was changed. You know, my destiny was changed, and so my 4 children, their destiny was changed. If it wasn't for Restoration Ministries, I have no idea where my children would be now.
There's a scripture that motivates you. It's Matthew 25:30.
Yes, that to me was practical Christianity.
Yeah.
And to be the hands and feet of Jesus to the hungry, to the poor, and the disenfranchised. So when I heard about the mission of Restoration Ministries, you know, there I was, you know, I raised my hand, here am I, said to me, I want to be a part of what you're doing.
There are a lot of challenges in the Harvey community. How does, you have a boxing club for kids and a lot of different programs, don't you?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, one of the things that we wanted to do in Restoration Ministry, we didn't want to be another ministry just taking property off the tax rolls and not making a difference. So we wanted to be able to reach kids and adults also. So we started the boxing club, and the boxing club, our motto there is, it's better to sweat in the gym than to bleed in the streets.
Yes.
But along with the boxing club, we teach Bible, and the kids come to the boxing club, they learn the art of boxing. We have art and
22 programs in all, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, I want to hear about some more of those. Ray was a graduate of Restoration Drug Rehabilitation Program 27 years ago. When we come back, we'll meet a young woman who just last year was given a choice: spend a year in jail or go through the program at Restoration Ministries. That's coming up after the break. Dance classes, music classes, art programs, a food pantry, an emergency shelter, and rehabilitation programs are just some of the many services offered by Restoration Ministries. Executive Director Ray Banks received help more than 27 years ago. And he's joined by Gwen Bute. Gwen is a recent graduate of their women's program. So thank you, Gwen, for joining us.
Thank you.
So first, Ray, tell us about some of the other programs that are going on. That's quite a few programs.
Well, some of the other programs just kind of start to evolve as people begin to grow in their own walk with God and say, hey, how about doing a boxing club? How about doing a music program? And then we begin to look at the needs of the community. The kids were coming home after school. They weren't really doing anything. And so we decided to have an after-school program. And then we say, hey, you know, kids like dance, kids like music, you know, kids like sports. So we began to develop other programs just to meet the needs of the community.
Wow. So how many young people do you serve?
Wow, we got 85 kids in our after-school program. We have several kids in the different art programs, and the boxing club has about 35 kids over there. And we're reaching kids just throughout the south suburbs, but mostly in Harvey. We're in the high schools and the junior high and the elementary schools. So we're probably reaching close to 200 kids a week.
And Gwen,
Yes.
how did you end up at Restoration Ministries?
I ended up at Restoration Ministries. I was addicted to opiates for 7 years. Got caught stealing from my dad and my brother. So I got arrested one night, and it all went downhill from there. I sat in jail for 36 days, and my mom, we were friends with a family pastor in town, so she kind of reached out to him, and he came and talked to me and was like, hey, there's this place in Harvey, Illinois, you know, it's faith-based. And I was a little apprehensive because I believed in God, but I really wasn't.
How do you get addicted like that when you have a family situation, and how did it happen to you?
It happened to me, well, I come from a divorced home. My parents divorced when I was 1. My dad kind of came in and out of our lives. So, and then he got remarried and started his own life. Basically, I didn't get what a daughter needs from her father, the kind of love. So I turned to my boyfriend, who I met senior year, and I found out he was doing drugs, and I thought I could help him. You cannot help, and then so I just got involved with that, the codependency, the abuse, physical, mental, emotional, and I just I numbed everything.
And so then you found Restoration Ministries.
Yes.
And look at you today.
Look at me today.
Joy.
Joy.
What are other words that you describe?
Peace, happiness.
Change.
Change. That's all I can say.
Do you have a future?
I do have a future.
Do you look back?
I replay the tape. Because being a drug addict, you're always going to have that thought. You're always going to think about it. It's just how you have to retrain your brain and replace all of the old and the bad with new things that make you happy.
When you were in that place, did you have hope?
I did not have hope. I can remember laying in jail just crying and thinking like, Gwen, why? And then I blamed God. Why, God? Why did this have to happen to me? And then I love my mom. I thank my mom every day because she was praying for me, and she reached out to a family pastor who was really good friends with my grandfather, and he came to me and helped me, and I took the chance.
And found Christ and the hope you needed.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks for telling us that
Thank
story
you.
today. Ray, are there other stories like this one?
There's lots of stories like Gwen's story, and that's what makes my life so exciting, because every single day I have the opportunity to see a life change.
There's more good news after the break. I'm talking with Ray Banks and Gwen Bute of Restoration Ministries in Harvey. And Gwen, how have you been able to help other people?
I have been able to help other people I understand where they come from. I understand the circle of addiction. I understand the things that happen in addiction. And If I can be a light to somebody else, then it makes me happy to be a shining light to somebody who has no hope.
Well, thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
For being a light. Ray, how did Comcast Cares Day help your ministry?
Oh, it helped us tremendously because there is no way that we would have been able to get the community gardens up. And the things that they did by just walking the alleys and cleaning up, you know, and they were just a tremendous, tremendous help. It was just such a buzz and excitement. Everybody was walking around in their Comcast Cares shirts. And it inspired the neighbors because the neighbors start coming out, grabbing shovels,
Seriously?
throwing dirt into the vegetable, the garden beds. And it was just tremendous to see the young kids, you know, coming out to help, and everybody wanted to participate. So they started this little buzz in the neighborhood, and now everybody's coming over to take a look at the community garden, and they're taking pictures of it, and people are helping water it, and we're looking forward to a big harvest. And
that's so cool.
Comcast did a great, great job. You know, over 100 volunteers showed up. And
so cool. Well, thank you both for being here with us today. It's very good news to hear how many lives are being impacted through the work of Restoration Ministries. And it's also very encouraging to see so many employees of Comcast volunteer during Comcast Cares Day. When corporations come together to help organizations like Restoration, Spencer Tech, Mary Catherwood Senior Homes, Little City, and other worthy organizations, everybody wins. It's putting into practice the Golden Rule, Jesus' instruction book from the Book of Luke. Treat others the way you want them to treat you. Give of yourself. Give of your time. Give of your resources to bring hope, help, and healing to others. Don't forget to contact Faith Chicago if you have suggestions for topics or guests. We want to know what's going on in your communities. Our email is faithchicago@tln.com. And thanks for watching, and please consider partnering with us. TLN is donor supported. Programs like Faith Chicago are only possible with your support. We'll see you again next time.